Now we're gonna talk about Syrian civil war. The fight in Syria is free for all. As we know, Syria war have many key players. There are Syria Bashar al-Assad government soldiers. There are Free Syrian Army, the ISIL supported by Al-Qaeda, the Kurds, democratic soldiers, and many others groups inside the country. These key players are very much alive in the country, especially today. The opposition, the government, they were just waiting for a chance to attack, and now it was the time, last December 1 and 2, because the allied Syrian government, the Russia, the Iran, and as we know, both countries also experience domestic and international problems. Iran was in quarrel of Israel, exchanging missiles, and they need to keep up their production of missiles and soldiers for the defense of the country, while Russia is busy in Ukraine and was in trouble also for their economy because of infighting to Ukraine. And so it was a better decision for the opposition to attack Aleppo these days, because in my opinion it should and maybe they should use a blitzkrieg going inside to Aleppo and control the whole part before take some time and take some rest. Soldiers must rest because they're not robots, but it's not going to take a long rest because they were in fighting, and they should maybe a week to have a good breath, a good sleep, and replenish their energy and attack again before the Al-Assad government can regroup and fight with the missionaries of Russia and Russian soldiers, and they can ask help for the Kurds, one of the key players, and set aside their difference. So if they want to sweep all the remaining country, their difference should be swept aside. Kurd is the only way, but the blocking is the Turkey, because Turkey don't want it because they are in the border of Turkey, and Kurds want to independence like Iraq Kurds, and the Islamists don't want democratic, but they want established hardliners in the country. So maybe I don't think that the Al-Qaeda will also agree with that, and other groups, and that's it. Kurds is not an Islamic group. They only wanted independence and democratic type of government, and they were considered by the president of Turkey as terrorists. So if they want to take out Bashar al-Assad, they should make up their minds and settle their difference, or it's the same scenario in Myanmar. Myanmar war, where many key players there against the government, but they're not in unity. But now they're unity. They aside their government, their disagreement. Then now that's what happened on October 2023 last year. They have take more area in the Myanmar. The Kurdistan Syria Democratic Force, which backed by the Western Army, the army and the groups are the enemies of Bashar al-Assad, the president, the dictator of Syria. And it's look like today all the dictators around the world wanted to be a dictator are going to be aligned in Russia, and like African countries that just recently engaged in coup etat. They were supporter of Putin, and the world becomes today more smaller and closer to conflicts. And on the other hand, Russia was now aiding Syria, just in limited help, only map bombing the city of ALIPO, and they hope rebel will not advance to Damascus and escape. And I think they completed the takeover of ALIPO. Syria was now in difficult times because of the renewed attack inside ALIPO. An immediate attack happened this week. Al-Assad asking for help to this strongest ally, Russia. And as we know, Russia is busy nowadays as they still cementing their efforts to take Ukraine, the whole of Ukraine. For me, as I am talking about the war in Syria, and I think United States, as usual, will not be a main key here, as Trump was staying away from the conflicts, and only he have support to Israel. And I think so Western backed fighters of Syria must not expect big support, but if maybe they ask for other Western countries, Kurds should be better also decide not to become not Kurds, the Islamic fighter. They should also step aside the radicals idea, and maybe they can ask help for the other Western countries to help them, because Western countries wanted to help, but there's just some conflict of the ideas, like the Islamist fighter have always do or push their agenda as they want to put the Islamic State, and which is in turn the Western countries, which is not totally supported it. Only Turkey that supported it, and they want it, and they invest many money and lives in that war, and that's why they don't want. They just push their agenda about it, but in long term, that Islamist fighters is needed, much needed help from Western allies, but in return they should not use their agenda as what they want to become, the Syria as Islamic State. And maybe they once again ask help for the Kurds, as what Kurds did in Iraq. They ask help. Iraq, the Western ask help for the Kurds, and they should help also because the war is going inside their territories, and Kurds fight it all, and they won the fight. So maybe they do that the same, and just take away that Islamist radicals idea